All right, ready to dive deep. Today we're tackling something pretty profound, connecting with your higher self.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It is, right? I mean, it sounds kind of out there, but
Definitely a bit mystical.
it is. But we've got some cool stuff to work with today. We're going to be looking at some excerpts from pasted text. They've got 5 daily practices outlined to help with this whole higher self connection thing.
Okay, sounds interesting.
And to kind of round things out, we'll be pulling in some wisdom from Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. You know, see how that whole present moment awareness thing plays into all of this. So, ready to unlock some serious potential.
Absolutely.
I'm
I'm all in. Let's see what these practices are all about and how they can help us tap into that inner wisdom.
Okay, perfect. So, pasted text kicks things off with practice number 1. Quiet the mind. Easier said than done, right? I mean, my mind's like the three-ring circus most of the time.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. A quiet mind. That's definitely a challenge for a lot of us. But what's interesting is that pasted texts, they don't frame it as like completely emptying your mind. They talk about it more as like stepping back from that constant stream of thoughts, you
It's
know?
like watching the circus instead of being in it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
It's more about observing your thoughts without judgment. It's creating some space for something deeper to emerge.
Hmm. Kind of like taking a step back from the chaos of everyday life and finding that place of stillness within. Isn't that something Tolle talks about a lot in The Power of Now?
He does, big time. He's
Yeah.
all about that present moment awareness. He even says that just 5 minutes of daily mindfulness can make a real difference, creating that gap between your thoughts that allows your higher self kind of like shine through.
It's almost like hitting the pause button on that mental chatter so you can actually connect with something deeper.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so we've quieted our minds.
Uh,
What's the next step?
Pasted text says we need to listen to your intuition, tune into that inner voice, those gut feelings that are trying to guide us.
Yeah, okay. But how do you know if it's really your intuition or just your anxieties talking?
Hmm.
Or even just wishful thinking? I mean, those could get mixed up pretty easily, right?
Oh, for sure. It's a really good question. And pasted text actually addresses that. They emphasize the importance of presence, just like with quieting the mind. When you're grounded in the present moment, that's when your intuition can really speak clearly.
I see. So it's about creating the right conditions for your intuition to be heard.
Exactly. And they describe it as a feeling of knowing, like a deep inner guidance that feels aligned with your truest self.
So you have to learn to sort of discern between the voice of your intuition and all the other noise, the fears, the desires, all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay, what's the third practice?
Practice number 3 is practice gratitude. Shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have. Pasted text even cites a study where people who kept a gratitude journal for a week felt more optimistic and satisfied with their lives.
Okay, so it's about actively choosing to see the good in our lives instead of dwelling on the negative.
Exactly. And you know what else? Pasted text suggests that gratitude can be like a powerful antidote to the ego. The ego is all about negativity and comparison, right?
Right.
And that can really block us from connecting with our higher selves.
Which totally reminds me of something Tolle says in The Power of Now about how the ego thrives on negativity and comparison. And by practicing gratitude, we can break free from that cycle.
Yes. And when we do that, when we break free, we open ourselves up to a much deeper sense of connection with everything around us. And that's what allows the wisdom and guidance of our higher self to flow through.
Hmm. Okay, 2 more practices to go. We're on a roll. What's next?
All right, number 4 is act with intention. It's about moving through life with purpose, aligning your actions with your values. But it's not just about setting goals, it's more about pasted text. So it's more about infusing each moment with conscious awareness and intention.
So it's not just reacting to things that are happening around you. You're consciously choosing your path.
Exactly. You become the creator of your reality, not just reacting to it.
I like that. Okay, so what about that last practice? Number 5, embrace solitude. So are we all going to become hermits now?
Uh-huh. No, not quite. Pasted text clarifies this point. They say it's about intentionally carving out time for quiet reflection, away from all the distractions of the world. Even just 15 minutes a day can have a big impact.
So it's more like giving yourself the space to actually hear what your higher self is trying to tell you.
Exactly.
That makes sense. So we've covered all 5 practices from pasted text. Quieting the mind, listening to your intuition, practicing gratitude, acting with intention, and embracing solitude. And they all seem to connect back to Tolle's idea of presence in some way.
They absolutely do. They all point toward a deeper awareness of ourselves in the present moment. And when we cultivate that awareness, we can start to tune into the wisdom of our higher selves and allow it to guide us toward a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
Wow. I feel like we've been given a pretty amazing roadmap here. So out of everything we've talked about today, what's the one thing you would want our listener to really take to heart?
That's a great question. I think it boils down to this. If connecting with your higher self is about tapping into your full potential, what one small step can you take today to start that journey? Maybe choose one of these 5 practices and actually commit to incorporating it into your daily routine, even if it's just for a few minutes.
I love that challenge.
Mm.
And I know what I'm going to start with quieting my mind. It's definitely a work in progress. But hey, everyone listening, I encourage you to check out Pasted Text and the Power of Now for yourselves. See how these concepts resonate with your own experiences. Until next time, keep diving deep.
See you next time.